So greeting to all of you. Congratulations to all of you for your decision to pursue a career in the civil services. Gentlemen, I also congratulate to all of you for your decision to become a civil servant because you are going to work as a knowledge-based engineer in this 21st century. Your role has been changed. Earlier, a civil servant was supposed to be state-friendly. And now, a civil servant is supposed to be people-friendly. So as you are aware that for that purpose, there is an examination conducted by UPSC. The examination has 3 stages: preliminary stage, then mains examination, and then followed by your personality test. As far as the prelims is concerned, it is your gate pass to write the mains examination, and then the mains and the personality test. These two together decides your ranking, your allocation of services. This prelims, as you know, consists of 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 consisting of 100 questions, paper 2 consisting of 80 questions. This paper 2 is popularly known as CSAT, and this is your general studies. This prelims has negative marking of 1/3. This paper 2, which is your CSAT, is qualifying in nature. Whereas this solely decides your selection in the prelims. As far as the prelims is concerned, out of these 100 questions, if you see the portion of history, plays a very dominant role. Roughly 18 to 22 questions are there from this portion. If you see the syllabus, it is written history of India from the middle of the 18th century. That means modern India is written in the history portion, in prelims. But this is not the case. The question they are asking in this segment from ancient history, Indian history, medieval Indian history, modern Indian history. Along with this, a very important aspect that continuously UPSC is asking in our prelims examination, the questions from Indian heritage, art and culture. These four portion together constitutes 18 to 22 questions in our prelims portion, and roughly it is said that if you are making 55 questions correct, you would be allowed to write for the mains examination in the merit, roughly. Out of 55, if you are making 18 to 22 questions command, believe me, your path would be very easier to qualify the prelims examination. And it is very easy. to prepare the history portion. And do you know Chanakya? You might have heard the name, who wrote the famous book Arthashastra. Chanakya writes that every bureaucrat, every king should know the history. Yes, it is very true. Because this is the history that tells us about our past. On the basis of that, we learn and we makes our future. Nothing is there on this earth, no any event is there which has no history. Everything has its own history. Everything has its own background. That is history. History is what? A study of past. Take any subject, take any personality, even take your decision to pursue a career in the civil services examination, has its own history, has its own background that you decided very earlier during your graduation period, during your 10th standard, during your 10+2 standard, that yes, I have to become civil servant. I have to prepare for the civil services examination. Right now, you are sitting and preparing for that purpose. Take any subject, physics, chemistry, mathematics, geography, public administration, sociology, everything has its own background, and that background lies in history. Take Indian polity and constitution that you prepare for your polity purpose. You start it from the Regulating Act 1773. Then Pitt's India Act 1784, then Act of 1793, then Charter Act of 1813, then Charter Act of 1833, then Charter Act of 1853, and then the Government of India Act 1858, Indian Council Act 1861, and so on, and Government of India Act 1935, from where most of the part is taken in our constitution. See the history. You prepare international relations. Indo-Nepal, Indo-Sri Lanka, Indo-China, Indo-Pakistan has its own history. Formation of Pakistan, division of India, partition of India. Then what were the issues that were conflicting? What were the solutions taken by the respective government after independence period? Panchsheel policy, formulated by our Prime Minister, former Pandit Nehru. What were the circumstances? Panchsheel. Why it came into the picture? What was the concept behind this? International relations. NAM, Non-Aligned Movement. Gut Nirpeksha Andolan. You write an essay. Relevance of NAM in this 21st century. Until or unless you don't know, gentlemen, what was the background due to which NAM came into existence, you cannot write the relevance of NAM in today's scenario. So, it is a very vast subject and it provides us a huge input. We learn it, we come to know about our past, and on that basis we decide our future. What happens? You commit a mistake during preparation of the Indian history, because you take the Indian history and this Indian heritage, art and culture portion totally different from each other. No. This Indian heritage, art and culture is an interlinked part of our Indian history. Yes. Indian heritage, art and culture. Culture is what? Way of life. The food we eat, the dress we wear, the language we speak, the behavior we perform, the ideology we have is what? Various aspects of culture. Dance, drama, music, philosophy, science and technology, architecture is what? Various aspects of culture. And this is inherent in our Indian history. Take for example, Indus Valley civilization. For you, this is ancient Indian history. Yes, I do agree. But for me, it is also the part of our Indian culture. Because see, the civilization came to an end, but the culture is still continued. That is reflected in various aspects. Tree worship was there in the Indus Valley civilization. Yes, it is there today in our present day. In the Indus Valley civilization, people tree was worshipped. Today we worship, in addition to the tree, people tree, tulsi, banyan, banana, neem. Male goddess worship was there. Proto-Shiva concept is there in the Indus Valley civilization. Yes, today's male god is continued, but along with Proto-Shiva, many more male gods are there. They are worshipped. Concept of mother goddesses was there. Yes, in the Indus Valley civilization. Today we have, yes, mother goddesses, but various mother goddesses, their names are there. Even in our Navratra festival, we worship 9 Devis. Animal worship was there. Bull, unicorn bull was the most important animal that was worshipped. Yes, today we also worship the animal. Dresses, ornaments, weight and measures, town planning, granary, great bath. Yes, it is continued till date. So this is what? This is cultural part. So civilization came to an end, but the culture is continued. See how these are interlinked? And the question is there in the mains examination, that the civilization that came to an end, but the culture is continued. Even last year the question was there, the very first question was there in the mains examination in the GS paper 1, that today it is the need of hour that our heritage should be preserved. Yes. Why this question is there in the exam? Because our youth, they are not aware with our past. They are not aware with our heritage. So they are, with respect to time, losing their relevance. It is the time, it is the need of hour that we should protect them. Most of the time you come across with the fact that, sir, so much fact and figure, how to mug up, we used to forget. No, actually you do not know how to read the history. How to approach. What should be the approach to study the history? Because you don't know exactly what is the characteristics of the history. So characteristic of the history is, if you see the characteristics of the history is, number 1, there is always time. Number 2, there is always period. And number 3, gentlemen, the most important characteristics of history is, there is always elements of changes and continuity. Elements of changes and continuity. Elements of changes and continuity. See the third aspect. Time is what? Time is what? Time is what? Let us take 21st century. And in this 21st century, let us take the year 2021. Period. January 2021. At a certain time. This is period. Time is what? Your school timing 10 to 5. But period, different period. See this third aspect, elements of changes and continuity. See the element of changes I just quoted, Indus Valley civilization. Continuity is what? Tree worship. Changes, in addition to people, many more trees. Continuity is what? Male god. Proto-Shiva was there. Changes is, along with Proto-Shiva, many more male gods are worshipped. Continuity is what? Animal worship. Changes is what? Along with the bull, many more animals are worshipped. Isn't it? Yes. So elements of changes and continuity is the most important characteristics of history. On this basis, third part, gentlemen, it is said that history repeats itself. So this is the basic approach. That means we should read the history in a chronological way. Then we can understand what is continued, what are the changes. What happens? You are most familiar with the modern Indian history, so you prefer to prepare with the modern Indian history. But exactly, without preparing the ancient and the medieval, you cannot understand what was the development, how the things started, and how the development took place in a chronological phase, chronological manner. Sometimes you start, okay, today we'll prepare Mauryan age, but you don't know what was before the Mauryan age. Rise of 16 Mahajanpadas. What is Mahajanpad? Mahajanpad, Rigvedic period, Jan. Jan means people, be people. Jan, tribal setup. Then later Vedic period. Janas, people, get settling down, becoming Janpad. When Janpad, settling down, area, concept of kingship. Then various Janpad, together constituting Mahajanpad. And rise of second urbanization in India. Then you can understand, okay, this was Jan, Jana becoming Janpad, Jana means tribe, Janpad means tribal settlement, Janpad, and then now various Janpad together constituting Mahajanpad. Chronological way. Similarly, what to mug up? So many wars, so many king, how much we should mug up? Very boring? No, this is not the case. If I ask you a simple question, whatever is your age, let us say 20, 21, 22, 23, tell me your history till date. Can you tell me date wise, timing wise? No. Even if you ask to me that, sir, can you tell me your history till date with time and events? I cannot tell. But if you ask me, sir, tell me those events that changed your life. Important events. Yes, I can tell. This was my date of birth. Is my date of birth. I did my 10th standard, 12th standard. I did my graduation. This was the year I appeared in the civil services examination. And that was the year I was selected. And that was my first posting. And that would be my, my first posting at what? Or if any major event took place between this, my marriage anniversary date. So all these things I can tell you, important events. Similarly, you can tell me the important events. Sir, this is my date of birth, this is my schooling this year. And sir, this was the year when I was selected. And sir, that was my first posting. Yes. Similarly, only those events we should be aware or keep in mind that change our course of ancient Indian history, medieval history, modern history. Let us take battle. How many battles should be mug up? Let us start from ancient Indian history. In the ancient Indian history from beginning, it is before the Mauryan first time the foreign invasion on India took place. First time. Yes, foreign invasion. First time we should be aware. Okay, Hakhamani Empire, Parsic invasion. Okay. And then Greek invasion, Alexander the Great. Sikandar. Very important battle with Porus, battle of Vitasta or battle of Hypaspes. And then after the Mauryan, again foreign invasion. Then in early medieval, first time Arab invasion. Yes, first time Arab invasion. 1712, Muhammad bin Qasim. Then Mahmud Ghaznavi. Then Muhammad Ghori. Yes, first battle of Taran 1191. And then second battle of Taran 1192. Because that is very important, that led to the establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Then medieval, Babur. First battle of Panipat, 1526. Then 1527, battle of Khanwa. Then 1528, battle of Chanderi. Then 1529, battle of Ghagra. then Humayun, then Akbar, Battle of Haldi Ghati, and then in later Mughal period, rise of autonomous kingdom, Battle of Plassey, 1757, because first time a foreign company that came for the trading purposes defeating the Nawab of Bengal, first time, Battle of Plassey. Followed by Battle of Buxar, 1764, that led to the Treaty of Allahabad, 1765, establishment of dual government over Bengal. The company that came for the trading purposes now becoming the part of the government. Yes, very important, remarkable achievement, development. So, this was the battle. So, point is that read it in a very chronological way, try to understand what are the development, what are the continuity, what are the changes, and always keep in mind, okay, this is the development, this was the culture, okay, this was the religion, okay, this was the science, okay, this was the information, this was the technology, this was the philosophy. Philosophy, six system of philosophy in ancient India, Sankhya, Nyaya, Yoga, Vaisesik, Mimamsa, and then Uttar Mimamsa. Also, six system of philosophy, heterodox philosophy. Buddhism, rise of Jainism, rise of Bhagavatism, rise of Saivism, Bhakti movement, Sufi movement. How this Bhakti movement gave birth to vernacular literature. How the various literature came into being, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Gujarati, Marathi, how this development took place, how various scriptures were written. Why this particular period is known for its remarkable achievement, Vijayanagar period, Krishnadeva Rai. He was not only a great king, he was a great literary personality as well. He wrote the book, Amukta Malyada. Politico-administrative theory is given in that book. Babar writes in his autobiography, Tuzuke Babari, Babar Nama, that Krishnadeva Rai was a very important Hindu ruler at that time. So we should know Vijayanagar period. Sangam age, from where the first historical information comes about of our South India, before that megalithic period, but from Sangam age. What is Sangam age? What is the meaning of Sangam? Meeting of whom? Poets, great literary personalities. Organized by whom? Pandyas. First Sangam, second Sangam, third Sangam. Outcome. The most important book, Tolakappiyam. The first Tamil Vyakaran book, grammar book, written by Tolakappiyar. Yes, we should know. The great Chola period, first time in our ancient and early medieval period, Cholas had a great navy. So see, a huge information history provides us. At the same time, it also provides us that, see, this was our heritage, this is our culture. And gentlemen, it covers all segments, history, polity, geography, economy, everything. In paper 4, various philosophy, various ideologies in our history. Indian polity, international relations in our Indian history. Economy, mixed economy. How? Mixed economy. What was the condition? How the economy developed in various period of time? What were the problems? Various plans were formulated. Gandhian plan, Bombay plan. First time concept of planning. All this prior to the independence period. So see, a huge information history provides us. So believe me, You will enjoy the class. And minimum 18 to 20 questions would be there in the pocket. The only thing that you have to keep in mind that you have to read the history in a chronological manner. Point number 1. And point number 2, you have to understand what is the development with respect to the previous period. What are the changes? And third thing, you should feel proud yourself that you are reading your ancient, medieval, modern Indian history. Okay? In mains, one more segment is there, world history. GS paper. And that world history is you have to prepare, the syllabus is important events of 18th century. Point number 1. Point number 2, World War I, World War II, then industrialization, and then rise of various philosophical ideas like socialism and other things. That also provides you the holistic information about the world history. What were the circumstances? How the French Revolution took place? What was the American War of Independence? What were the circumstances that led to the First World War? After the First World War, what was the Paris Peace Conference? How the rise of Nazism? How the rise of fascism? And finally that culminated into World War II. And after World War II, what happened? The whole world was divided into bloc. Capitalist bloc led by US and the socialist bloc, communist bloc led by USSR. And then the period started Cold War. How the development took place? Industrialization. Why the industrialization first in Britain? How the industrialization of Britain was different from the German industrialization? How the concept emerged from industrialization, capitalism, socialism, which is known as philosophical ideas. So this provides you a better understanding of the holistic development that took place around the globe in world history portion. And in our ancient, medieval, modern Indian history portion, along with the Indian heritage, art and culture, this provides us the holistic development, information about our past, about our culture, about our heritage. And this is very, very important for you preparing for the civil services examination, because after becoming the civil servant, at least when you will sit to formulate the policy, at least you would be aware what was in our past, how the development took place. So don't negate this portion, and don't think that this is boring, and don't think that this is not useful, and don't think this is only memorization of fact. No, not at all. Keeping in mind that this is the very important segment which is linked, which has various components: social history, economic history, political history, various development is there. So believe me, you will enjoy the class, and this portion you will have a good command over the subject with respect to time. Just attend the class, enjoy the class, and feel free to ask any query, any question. Okay? Thank you. All the best. God bless you.